very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Steven Machado.
And I'm Naveksha Gunasekara. Here are your headlines for tonight.
6 criminals, including KL Badra Padme, arrested in Indonesia in international operation. Links between politics and underworld also exposed. New laws and special courts to tackle organized crime. Rajitha to appear in court tomorrow, lawyers confirm. Hallolua remanded again over alleged plot to shame government. Venerable Narampanave Anandathera appointed Anunayaka of Askiriya chapter. Namal meets SLTB unions. SJB and SLFP join strike. Deputy Minister warns against strikes. Ranil has ruined SLPP's identity, says Ranjit Bandara.
In a top story tonight, in a coordinated international operation, Sri Lankan police, Indonesian authorities and Interpol successfully apprehended 6 individuals early this morning in Indonesia, including key figures linked to 3 major organized crime syndicates. Among those arrested are notorious gang leaders known as KL Badra Padme, Commando Salintha, Bako Saman and Panadura Nilanga, all believed to be central figures in criminal networks. 6 individuals, including the notorious KL Badra Padme, were arrested early this morning near Jakarta, Indonesia, as part of a 7-day international joint operation involving Sri Lankan police, Indonesian police and Interpol. Last evening, officers raided a residential complex located approximately 60 kilometers from Jakarta, but the suspects had narrowly escaped just hours earlier. Prior to the raid, KL Badra Padme, Panadura Nilanga and Commando Salintha had relocated to another location, a move captured on CCTV footage. Later that night, law enforcement officials launched a second raid on another apartment complex near Jakarta, where the suspects were found. At the time of the arrest, the location was occupied by KL Badra Padme, Commando Salintha, Bako Saman, Panadura Nilanga and Thambili Lahiru, all identified as leaders and members of organized crime syndicates. Also present were Bako Saman's wife, Sajika Lakshani, and their child. All individuals were taken into custody and handed over to the Jakarta Metro Police for further investigation. Who are these crime syndicate leaders? The 6 individuals arrested near Jakarta are confirmed to be members of 3 major organized crime syndicates operating out of Sri Lanka. These suspects are believed to play a central role in the distribution of heroin, crystal meth, also known as ice, and other narcotics across Sri Lanka. Authorities also link them to multiple recent homicides, underscoring their deep involvement in violent criminal activity. KL Badra Padme, real name Mandinu Padmasiri Pereira, is affiliated with a Gampa-based underworld network. Commando Salintha, another suspect taken into custody, recently operated as a close associate of Padme. Bako Saman, identified as Nirmal Prasanga, is a known figure in the southern underworld. His associate, Thambili Lahiru, was also arrested during the operation. Both Saman and his wife Sajika have previously faced allegations of large-scale drug trafficking. Nilanga is linked to the Panadura underworld. He is known to be a rival of Kudu Salindu, another prominent crime figure. Nilanga is accused of involvement in multiple shootings and murders in the Panadura region. Just hours before his arrest in Jakarta, Nilanga's father-in-law was gunned down in Alubogahawatta, Panadura. What did they do? A closer look at the crimes behind the Jakarta arrests. The recent arrests in Jakarta of 6 Sri Lankan nationals linked to organized crime syndicates comes against the backdrop of a surge in violent killings that escalated sharply in February. On the 18th of February in Medenya, Aruna Vidanagamage, also known as Khaja, and his 2 children were gunned down. The suspects in this triple homicide are Bako Saman and Thambili Lahiru. Just a day later, on the 19th of February, Gunner Muli Sanjeeva was shot and killed inside the Alutkare Magistrates Court in Colombo. This brazen attack was allegedly carried out by Kehelbadra Padme and Commando Salintha. Following the incident, Salintha publicly claimed the killing was an act of personal revenge. Investigations later revealed that the van used in Sanjeeva's murder had previously travelled to Medania, the site of Khadja's murder, just days before the incident. The vehicle had returned to Colombo the day before the second killing, suggesting a coordinated plan. These connections led authorities to suspect that both murders were orchestrated by Padme and Bako Saman, triggering a wave of retaliatory violence between rival gangs. In the weeks that followed, sporadic shootings and killings occurred between factions loyal to Padme and Sanjeeva, intensifying the turf war. During this period, Kehelbadra Padme was also accused of issuing death threats via phone to Chief Inspector Linton Silva, head of the Western Province North Crimes Division. These threats reportedly came after the arrest of Padme's close associates Gampa Deva and Walaskata. Padme and Salintha continue to challenge rival groups, frequently appearing on social media to issue threats and provocations. In some cases, they posted about upcoming crimes just minutes before they occurred, further escalating tensions. The arrests in Indonesia were carried out under this volatile backdrop. According to police, during the early morning operation, the suspects attempted to bribe Indonesian officers in a bid to escape, a move that failed. Authorities have since seized mobile phones, bank cards and other devices from the suspects and launched a full investigation. Locations where the suspects had previously stayed are also being examined. A joint media briefing was held at the Department of Government Information to address the international operation targeting organized crime syndicates.
අපි දැන් සැලසුම් කරලා තියෙනවා මේ සංවිධාන.
We have now planned to establish special courts dedicated to prosecuting organized criminals swiftly and delivering appropriate punishments. As a civilized society, this process will unfold strictly within the framework of the law. Several special high courts are scheduled to be set up under this initiative.
ස්ථාපිත කරන්න
Sri Lanka Policeයට දේශපාලන බාධාවක්
Sri Lanka Police has received the necessary instructions, resources and authority to act independently and without political interference. This is one of the best opportunities we have had to take decisive action against these individuals.
මයි දැන් අපි මේ ක්‍රියා කරගෙන තින්නේ.
These killings are not isolated incidents. Some of them have political connections, and there have been instances where links to political figures were reported. This is the challenge our police face today. In response, the President, the Minister and the government have launched a special initiative. We are also strengthening bilateral ties with other nations where these criminal activities originate to ensure these criminals are brought to justice.
ඇයි ඔබතුමාලට බැරි මේ පාතාල කලේ සමාජිකයන් පිටිපස්සේ ඉන්න දේශපාලන හස්තේ කවුද කියන එක කෙලින් කියන්න. මොකද අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ ජනතාව විදියට මේගොල්ලන්ට උදව් කරපු දේශපාලකයෝ කවුද?
These are complex investigations. We have already uncovered key details. For example, in the case involving Tusita Hallolua, who is currently facing trial for a shooting, we have found that he acted with clear planning and intent. Since the case is ongoing, I won't comment further. However, we have identified instances where criminal assets were used to fund political campaigns. We will reveal these individuals soon. We believe organized crime cannot be tackled under ordinary law. A special legal framework is needed. The Ministry of Justice is currently working on drafting such legislation. Looking at the data, nearly 80% of incidents stem from conflicts between rival gangs and control over drug trafficking territories. Some groups include individuals who are not criminals themselves but are associated with syndicate members. For example, when Khadja was shot, his two children, innocent and unaware of any criminal activity, also lost their lives. They became victims simply because of their father's actions.
Case file.
Former director of the National Lottery Board, Tusita Hallolua, has been remanded until the 4th of September by Colombo Additional Magistrate Lahiru Silva. The order was issued during a court hearing related to the shooting incident that took place on the 17th of May, in which Hallolua's vehicle was involved. The case was recalled today for further proceedings.
Officers from the Colombo Crimes Division informed the court that Tusita Hallolua, a former director of the National Lottery Board, was arrested under warrant after awaiting the investigation into the 17th May shooting incident involving his vehicle. The officers further stated that Halolua, who was previously considered a victim in the case, was taken into custody as the 11th suspect due to conflicting statements he made regarding the incident. Investigators told the court that the suspect may have orchestrated the shooting with the intention of discrediting the current government and the president, and requested that he be remanded as inquiries are still ongoing. Appearing on behalf of Halolua, Attorney-at-Law Athula S. Ranagala argued that none of the allegations against his client was substantiated in the B report submitted to court. He emphasized that there was no consolidated evidence presented and requested that Halolua be released on suitable bail conditions. After reviewing the submissions, Additional Magistrate Lahiru Silva ordered that the suspect be remanded until the 4th of September and scheduled the bail order to be delivered on that date.
Case file.
Former Minister Rajitha Senaratne will appear before the Colombo Magistrates Court tomorrow, as confirmed today by his legal counsel, President's Counsel Kalinga Indathissa, during a hearing at the Colombo High Court. This statement was made during the hearing of a revision petition filed by Senaratne seeking a suspension of the arrest warrant issued by the Colombo Magistrates Court. The petition was heard before the High Court Judge Indrika Kalinga Wansha. The High Court, having decided to examine the revision petition, issued notices to the respondents named in the case, including the Director General of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. The revision petition is scheduled to be heard again on the 10th of September. Samaga Jana Balawegaya Kaltra Municipal Councillor Danuka Hetiarachi has been remanded until the 8th of September for allegedly assaulting a police officer during a protest held near the Colombo Fort Magistrates Court, demanding the release of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is facing allegations of spending 16.6 million rupees in public funds during a foreign visit. The order was given when Hetiarachi was produced before the Colombo Fort Magistrate Nilupuli Lankapura. A police constable attached to the Kalania police station sustained injuries after being assaulted by the Kalutra municipal councillor during the protest held in front of the Colombo Magistrates Court on the 26th of August. Officers of the Colombo Division Crimes Bureau arrested the Samagijana Balawegaya Kalutra municipal councillor Danuka Hetiarachi in Kalutra last night. Subsequently, Hetiarachi was handed over to the Kompanavidya police and produced before court. Former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who was released on bail, continues to receive treatment at the intensive care unit of the National Hospital of Sri Lanka, according to Dr. Rukshan Bellana, the hospital's deputy director. Dr. Bellana stated that Wickremesinghe may be transferred to a general ward by tomorrow, depending on his recovery progress. Meanwhile, the Criminal Investigation Department questioned Dr. Bellana today regarding a misinformation incident circulating on social media. The inquiry was related to false claims that Prime Minister had visited Wickremesinghe at the hospital. The CID has recorded a formal statement from Dr. Bellana in connection with the matter.
K.D. Lalkantha, the Minister of Agriculture, made the following comments.
This is no joke. Public property has been misused. Under the Public Property Act, if someone is taken into custody, bail is not granted. They must remain in custody until the case is heard and a sentence is delivered. But Ranil Wickremesinghe was granted bail. How? If there are special circumstances, bail can be considered. In this case, it appears to be a medical condition. So, how could bail be denied? We've also been arrested before. We've been taken into custody at different times for various political reasons. But we never compromised our principles just to get bail. We never bent our backs for it. Now, what has happened to Ranil Wickremesinghe? He can't return to politics. It's over. I believe the decision to seek bail has caused him irreparable damage. His lawyers claimed he was sick here, sick there. 4 organs affected. 2 completely failed. I don't think there was a single organ left unaffected. So, how can someone like that return to politics? There's no space for him anymore. I feel sorry for the man. He's finished. Completely destroyed. Yes, he got bail, but his political life is no longer valid beyond this point.
News First with the people.
News First, main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposits. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability. A trusted place for your fixed deposits. Valuable FD, 10.25% for 15 months, 11% for 24 months. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
The wait is over. 8 nations, 1 dream. The battle begins. year's biggest cricket clash returns. Asia Cup 2025 starts September 9th. Feel the roar. Catch all the action only on TV1.
Venerable Narampanave Anandathera was appointed the Anunayaka of the Askari chapter of the Siam sect earlier today.
The unique task of appointing the Anunayaka was held at the ceremonial chamber of the Askari Mahavihare this afternoon. The ceremony was held under the patronage of the Mahanayaka of the Askari chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Warakagoda Sri Jnanaratana Thera and the Mahasangha. Venerable Narampanave Ananda Thera has previously served as the Deputy Registrar of the Askari chapter and as the head of the Askari Mahapirivena.
Meki Anunayaka පදවියට පැවරෙන සුවිශේෂ කාර්යභාරයන් රැසක් තිබෙනවා. මම කල්පනා කරනවා අද වර්තමාන යුගයේ ගන්නකොට අතීතයට වඩා විවිධ ශාසනික වශයෙන් අර්බුද ප්‍රශ්න ගැටලු රාශියක් පැන නැගිලා තියෙන යුගයක්. එවන් වකවානුවක මෙවන් ශාසනික තනතුරු ඔබවන නායක ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේලාට විශාල කාර්යභාරයක් මේ කාලයේ හැටියට පැවරෙනවා. ඉතින් මාගේ ශක්ති පමණින් ඒ සියලු කටයුතු වලට ඒ සියලු වගකීම් ටික ඉටු කරමි ශාසනික අභිවෘද්ධිය වෙනුවෙන් කැපවීමට මා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
The post of Anunayaka was left vacant following the passing of Venerable Anamanduwe Sri Dhammadasi Thera.
Trade unions affiliated with the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Samaki Jana Balawegya United National Party and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party within the Sri Lanka Transport Board staged a trade union action today. The primary demand of the striking unions was the immediate cancellation of the unified timetable system implemented for the SLTB and private buses. However, reports indicate that the trade union action did not cause significant disruption to the bus operations across the country.
SLPP National Organizer MP Namal Rajapaksa met with members of SLPP-affiliated Sri Lanka Podujana Transport Workers Union, including its executive committee and other union representatives. Just hours after Namal's meeting, Anand Palitha, a key figure in SJB-aligned trade union movement, announced that a coordinated strike would be launched.
While long-distance bus operations were conducted without disruption all this time, a decision has been made for both public and private bus routes to commence from the private bus area along Bastian Mawatha with no proper plan. The government has not held any discussions. This is a serious matter which has been made to collapse the SLTB without no prior discussion, discourse or agreement.
By early morning today, unions representing SLPP, SJB, UNP, SLFP and several other groups had joined the strike, continuing their strong opposition to the unified bus timetable system that was introduced on the 25th of August. Despite the strike, bus operations remained largely unaffected. At the Colombo Central bus stand, services continued smoothly.
බස් තියෙනවා හැමතැනම යන්න බස් තියෙනවා මම මොන්රාලි ඉඳලා ආවේ බස් තියෙන ඕන තැනකට යන්න බස් තියෙනවා ඒ බොරුවක් කරන්නේ
අපිට මොකුත් කිව්වේ නැහැ.
At the Gampa main bus terminal, SLTB buses were operating without issue. In Kandy and Kurunegala, SLTB buses were seen operating without disruption despite the declared strike. The strike did not have a great impact on the operations of buses in the North Central province. Dr. Prasanna Gunasena, Deputy Minister of Transport, stated that the strike was launched without any justifiable basis and was aimed at deliberately inconveniencing the government. He confirmed that all SLTB drivers were instructed to report to duty and warned that those who joined the strike would face suspension. The All Ceylon Transport Workers Union commented on the matter.
Namal Rajapaksa should be ashamed. He is the one who summoned union leaders to Nelum Mawatha and instructed them to launch this strike. If they think they can easily topple this government, they are wrong. Not in his lifetime. As a responsible union leader, I assure you, this government has no intention of dismantling the SLTB. Even if the unified timetable is implemented in some areas, it will not harm the institution.
කිසිදු ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් මේ ආණ්ඩුව ගන්නේ නැත.
Former Member of Parliament Professor Ranjit Bandara has accused former President Ranil Wickremesinghe of damaging the identity of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and eroding the legacy of the Rajapaksa political movement. Bandara urged senior leaders of the SLPP to refrain from selling out their political movement to Wickremesinghe. Former SLPP Member of Parliament Professor Ranjit Bandara has published 2 detailed posts on social media expressing deep concern over what he describes as a destruction of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna's identity and the Rajapaksa legacy. In his first post, Bandara stated, quote,
Ranil Wickremesinghe, to our understanding, has never shared our party's vision or values. He has undoubtedly destroyed our political identity and distorted it. He has damaged the Rajapaksa legacy entrusted to us by the people and decisively ruined the political future of the Rajapaksas. The crises he claims to be solving are the very ones produced under his supervision during the Yahapalana era. While we may personally sympathize with him, the harm he has done to our party can no longer be ignored. Ranil only grows stronger when we are divided. When SLPP heavyweights and prominent members individually gravitate toward his orbit, our collective strength inevitably weakens. We have seen this happen. We are still seeing it.
Unquote. In his second post, Bandara made a direct appeal to the SLPP leadership. Quote,
this is a moment for SLPP leaders, organizers and supporters to reflect deeply. Do not sell our movement back to Ranil. Let him bear the weight of his own failures. We have no journey to make with him.
Unquote.
The National People's Power MPs expressed their views on the alliance of opposition parties.
After the arrest of the former president, all the thieves have united. In fact, the Tamil people have voted for Ranil Wickremesinghe. They have voted for Premadasa. The way they voted is that the Tamil, Sinhala, Muslim people voted with the idea of defeating Mahinda. They did not vote for them out of love. They all united because they knew that in the future we will arrest all those who have engaged in corruption in this country. Today, everyone is on the same platform. There is Mahinda Rajapaksa, there is Digambaram and Mano Ganesan. In the past, they were being beaten up inside. Even those who criticize Ranil are on the same platform with Mahinda today. We would like to affirm here that we will not back down from the steps we have taken.
Today, Gammadha opened a new chapter of hope for children from the hill country, leaving their worries behind. The initiative will benefit the students of Alma Gremo Tamil School in Kandapula, Nuwara.
The local community surrounding the Alma Gremon Tamil School in Kandapula, Nuwara came together to celebrate the inauguration of a new project aimed at enhancing opportunities for their children. The initiative focuses on Alma Gremon Tamil School in Kandapula, Nuwara, a school under the Valapane Divisional Secretariat. Currently, 110 students follow their education at the school. One of the school's biggest challenges has been access to safe drinking water. Despite their best efforts, the problem remained unresolved, prompting the principal of the school to reach out to Gammadha for assistance. With the support of the Airline Pilots Guild of Sri Lanka, Gammadha swiftly developed a plan. The foundation stone for a new water purification system was laid, bringing immense joy to the entire community.
உண்மையாகவே இங்கு இருக்கின்ற சிறுவர்கள் அவர்கள் எதிர்பார்ப்பது clean Sri Lanka என்பதற்கு அப்பால்.
Actually, the children here are looking forward to a modern Sri Lanka that goes beyond just a clean Sri Lanka. Modern Sri Lanka is not only about economic growth or technological advancement, both of which are achievable, but it's about a fundamental shift in people's thinking. This change of mindset is essential to building a self-disciplined and socially responsible society. The challenge that lies in addressing different groups with tailored approaches while fostering unity across communities. True progress requires a social transformation that brings people together, transcending divisions. This principle must be instilled in students from a young age. The seed of this mindset should be sown early.
அந்த விதை இந்த வயசிலே விதைக்கப்பட வேண்டும்.
இன்றைய இந்த எல்மா கிராமன் தமிழ் வித்யாலயத்தில்
Today, this program has provided an activity that went beyond providing water to these students. I think that it is a huge blessing for the students of this area to have such an experience.
வரவேற்கத்தக்க விடயம்.
අද දවසේ මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය මේ ගමට ගෙනීම සහ මේ පාසලට මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය ලබා දීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් විදිහට මම මගේ ගෞරවනීය ස්තුතිය සියලු දෙනාටම පුද කරන්න අවස්ථාවක් කරගන්න.
ගම්මෙද්ද වේල திட்டமானது மிகவும்
The GUM at the program is assisting communities in the most challenging areas where there are issues with water, roads and other basic facilities. It is a great pleasure for our under-resourced school to receive the support it provides.
மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றோம்.
Several government officials also attended this joyous event. The GUM at the team is committed to completing the project and handing it over to the children of the school swiftly.
The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange rose by 47.05 points today. At the closing of trading today, the all-share price index stood at 20,800.26 points. The total turnover recorded for the day was 7.4 billion rupees. In more news, the Indonesian embassy hosted an Independence Day reception in Colombo. The opposition political coalition in Sri Lanka were also part of the celebrations.
The 80th Independence Day celebrations of Indonesia was marked in Colombo with a grand reception hosted by the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Sri Lanka.
Indonesia and Sri Lanka share deep-rooted ties that go far beyond the official establishment of diplomatic relations in 1952. Our bilateral relations continue to expand across various sectors. There is still significant potential to diversify and expand our economic ties. And this figure needs to reflect the true potential of the two countries. Indonesia stands ready to unleash the full potential of our cooperation, including intensifying agriculture cooperation, green economy, pharmaceutical, critical mineral, value-added industries, infrastructure development, encouraging greater participation of Indonesian state-owned enterprises in Sri Lanka's development and other areas. The government of Indonesia reassures its commitment for a much stronger and closer relation between Indonesia and Sri Lanka. In order to maximize the effort for a stronger relation between both countries, Indonesian Embassy is expanding its cooperation and networking by involving many Sri Lankans from all sectors to collaborate for a more effective cooperation. The people-to-people connection is one of the very important elements in relations between both countries.
The gala evening also saw the attendance of opposition leaders Sajith Premadasa, former presidents Mahinda Rajapaksa and Maithripala Sirisena as well. Members of the diplomatic community and other Sri Lankan politicians were also present.
The opening of Northern Virindu by Fox Resorts, the newest addition to the pioneer in hospitality industry Fox Resorts, took place today in Colombo.
Fox Jaffna, part of Fox Resorts, a pioneer in the country's hospitality industry, opened its takeout branch, newest of its kind, Northern Virindu, to share their flavors in the comfort of own home. A celebration of food and togetherness at Northern Virindu bring Colombo the rich, authentic flavors of Jaffna.
We are bringing the flavors from Fox Jaffna to Colombo, so that people in Colombo also can experience the great authentic food that we serve in Jaffna. And we invite you to come and experience the northern cuisine that we give and the Jaffna cuisine that we have.
Crafted from ancient family recipes passed down through generations, Northern Virindu will now delight guests with its legendary cuisine.
Foreign leaders including Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un are set to attend a massive military parade in Beijing, marking 80 years since the formal surrender of Japan during World War II.
China has said that North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un will attend a military parade in Beijing next week alongside Russia's Vladimir Putin in what will be a landmark visit. This is Kim Jong-un's first multilateral international meeting, making the event a diplomatic win for China's Xi Jinping, who has been pushing for a new Beijing-led world order. It allows Xi to signal his influence, although limited, on both Putin and Kim at a time when Washington is attempting to make a deal with Moscow to end the war in Ukraine. US President Donald Trump is not attending, but said earlier this week that he wanted to meet Kim, whose growing nuclear arsenal and support for Russia have rattled the West. China's Victory Day parade will mark the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II and the end of the conflict. Putin and Kim will be among 26 other heads of state who are expected to attend the parade. This is the first time a North Korean leader has attended a Chinese military parade since 1959. China is likely to display its latest weaponry, including hundreds of aircraft, tanks and anti-drone systems. This will be the first time its military's new force structure is being fully showcased in a parade. The highly choreographed event will see tens of thousands of military personnel march in formation through the historic Tiananmen Square, with troops from 45 of the so-called echelons of China's military as well as the war veterans. This year's event, where Kim will be standing alongside Putin and Xi, will be significant because it means Xi can walk into any summit with Trump with more confidence, having been fully briefed by both leaders. Next week's meeting is also weeks before a possible visit by Trump to Asia, which the White House has hinted at but not confirmed. It has, however, said the US president is open to meeting Xi to finalize a tariffs deal, among other things. It's been 6 years since Kim visited Beijing. He last attended an event to mark the 70th anniversary of diplomatic ties between the two countries in 2019. He also visited Beijing 3 times in 2018, a particularly busy year for international trips given his reluctance to travel abroad.
A shooter opened fire with a rifle through the windows of a Catholic church in Minneapolis and struck some of the nearly 200 children celebrating Mass during the first week of school, killing 2 and wounding 17 people in an act of violence the police chief called absolutely incomprehensible.
2 children have been killed and 17 people injured after a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota state. The attack happened at Annunciation Church, where children had been attending a worship service during their first week of school. The attacker died at the scene of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The FBI is investigating the incident as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics. The attacker has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman from suburban Minneapolis. Westman's motive is currently unknown. The attacker, described as being dressed in all black, approached the side of the church, which also houses a school, and fired dozens of shots through the windows using 3 firearms, a rifle, a shotgun and a pistol. Police also found a smoke bomb at the scene. Officials are investigating if the suspect shot inside the building or if all the shots came from outside the church, noting that no casings from bullets were found inside. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said the attacker did not have an extensive known criminal history and acted alone. The attacker's mother, Mary Grace Westman, previously worked at the school, according to a school newsletter from 2016. A post on Facebook says she retired from the role in 2021. According to foreign media, the attack at a Catholic school in Minneapolis on Wednesday morning was the 4th deadly shooting the city had seen in roughly 24 hours.
The official press conference for Neo Live in Sri Lanka was held in Colombo, marking the exciting countdown to the Grammy-winning artist's highly anticipated debut performance in the country.
three-time Grammy Award winner Neo is set to perform live in Sri Lanka for the first time on the 28th of December 2025 at the Sugatadasa Outdoor Stadium in Colombo. The official press conference for Neo live in Sri Lanka was held in Colombo, officially kicking off the countdown to what promises to be one of the biggest international music events the country has seen. This highly anticipated concert is expected to attract thousands of fans from across Sri Lanka and beyond, marking a major milestone for the local entertainment industry.
Gentlemen, put your hands together for Neo. Thank you, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Look good.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight.
Thank you for watching. Good night.